Mohammedans. Sun god is the patron of Troy, our enemy. Take whatever treasure you can find.
In the shadow of ancient myths where gods and mortals clashed in epic struggles lies the story of Troy 2004, a cinematic retelling of Homer's Iliad that captivated audiences with its sweeping battles and tragic heroes. Directed by Wolfgang Petersen, this film brought the Trojan War to life with a grandeur that matched its legendary source, weaving a tale of love, betrayal, and destiny. Starring Brad Pitt as the fierce Achilles, Bana as the noble Hector, and Orlando Bloom as the impulsive Paris. Troy is a spectacle of human ambition and heartbreak, set against the bronze-clad backdrop of a mythic past. Yet beyond its breathtaking visuals and star-studded cast, the film harbors a trove of strange and fascinating secrets that deepen its allure. From the monumental effort to craft a realistic Trojan horse to the ironic injuries and bold creative choices that shaped its narrative, Troy is more than a Hollywood epic. It's a labyrinth of hidden stories waiting to be uncovered. In this journey through 10 weird facts you didn't know about Troy, we'll peel back the layers of this cinematic colossus to reveal the quirks, challenges, and surprises that defined its creation. You'll discover how Brad Pitt's real-life injury mirrored his character's mythic flaw, how the film dared to strip gods from a divine tale, and how its sprawling sets pushed the boundaries of practical filmmaking. Each fact is a window into the ambition and chaos behind a movie that aimed to resurrect an ancient world for modern eyes. We'll explore the grueling training that transformed actors into warriors, the budget-busting scale of Troy's reconstruction, and the last-minute musical overhaul that reshaped the film's emotional core. These stories aren't just trivia, they're a testament to the passion and audacity that fueled this epic, from the sweat-soaked battlefields of Malta to the heated debates over historical accuracy. As we delve into these 10 revelations, prepare to see Troy anew, not just as a tale of war and love, but as a feat of human ingenuity fraught with risks and triumphs. Whether you're a fan of the film's heart-pounding duels or its poignant character moments, these facts will pull you deeper into the world of Troy, where every detail from a towering wooden horse to a hastily rewritten score carries the weight of legend. So step into the dust and glory of ancient warfare, where the line between myth and reality blurs, and let's uncover the weird, wild truths behind one of cinema's boldest epics. Number 1. The Trojan horse was built for brutal realism. In Troy 2004, the iconic Trojan horse isn't just a prop, it's a towering testament to obsessive craftsmanship. Director Wolfgang Petersen demanded a horse that felt like it could have existed in ancient times, so the production team constructed a 38-foot-tall, 11-ton behemoth made of wood, steel, and fiberglass. It was so massive it had to be assembled in sections and transported to the set in Malta. To make it authentic, designers studied ancient Greek carpentry techniques, ensuring every plank and rope looked weathered by time. The horse's interior was even functional, with hidden compartments for actors to climb in and out, though the cramped space led to some claustrophobic moments during filming. Brad Pitt, who plays Achilles, reportedly joked about feeling like a sardine in a can while shooting scenes inside. This wasn't just a set piece. It was a character in its own right, built to withstand windstorms in the scrutiny of close-up shots. The crew spent weeks perfecting its weathered texture, using torches to char the wood for that battle-scarred look. Number 2. Brad Pitt's Achilles injury was ironic. Brad Pitt's portrayal of Achilles is legendary, but the irony of his injury during production is almost mythical. While filming a high-intensity fight scene, Pitt tore his Achilles tendon, an injury eerily aligned with his character's fabled weakness. The accident happened during a duel sequence with Bana's Hector, where Pitt landed awkwardly after a choreographed leap. Production halted for weeks as Pitt recovered, limping around the set in a cast while the crew scrambled to adjust schedules. Petersen later called it the curse of Achilles, half joking that the gods of ancient Greece were watching. Pitt's commitment to performing his own stunts, despite warnings, led to the mishap, but it also added authenticity to his performance. He channeled the pain into Achilles' rage, especially in scenes where the warrior grapples with his mortality. The injury cost the production millions in delays, but Pitt's dedication to returning stronger than ever mirrored his character's relentless drive. Number 3. The film ignored Homer's god. Homer's Iliad, the inspiration for Troy, is steeped in divine intervention. Gods like Athena and Apollo meddle in mortal affairs. But the 2004 film strips away nearly all supernatural elements, bold choice that sparked a debate. Wolfgang Petersen wanted a grounded, human-driven story, believing modern audiences would connect more with raw emotion than divine machinations. Instead of gods, the film emphasizes political intrigue and personal vendettas, with characters like Agamemnon and Achilles driving the narrative. This decision led to some creative liberties. For instance, the Iliad's divine prophecies are replaced with mortal foresight, like Priam's tragic trust in the Trojan Horse. Screenwriter David Benioff defended this, saying, "Gods would have felt cartoonish in a realistic epic." Yet eagle-eyed fans notice subtle nods to the divine, a fleeting shot of a statue of Apollo, or a storm during Achilles' death scene, hinting at the god's presence without breaking the film's gritty tone. Number 4. Eric Bana trained like a Spartan. Eric Bana's portrayal of Hector is a standout, but his preparation was Herculean. Bana, an Australian actor with no prior sword-fighting experience, underwent months of grueling training to embody Troy's noble prince. He worked with stunt coordinators and historical combat experts, mastering swordplay, shield work, and horseback riding. Bana insisted on performing most of his stunts, including the brutal duel with Achilles, which required him to wield a 15-pound bronze sword for hours. To bulk up, he followed a high-protein diet and trained 6 days a week, focusing on functional strength to mimic a warrior's physique. His dedication paid off in scenes where Hector's physicality feels both graceful and lethal. Off-camera, Bana bonded with the stunt team, often joining them for late-night sparring sessions in Malta. His commitment earned him respect on set, with Brad Pitt praising Bana's quiet intensity as the perfect counterpoint to Achilles' fiery arrogance. Number 5. The Trojan War's budget was epic. Troy's production was a financial juggernaut, with a budget ballooning to $175 million, massive for 2004. Much of the cost went to recreating ancient Troy, a sprawling set built in Malta and Mexico. The city's walls, over 500 feet long and 40 feet high, were constructed with thousands of limestone blocks, designed to look impregnable yet weathered by centuries. The production also employed over 1,000 extras for battle scenes, each outfitted with handcrafted armor and weapons. Costume designer Bob Ringwood sourced materials from across Europe, including leather from Italy and bronze from Greece, to ensure authenticity. The naval sequences, featuring dozens of replica Greek ships, required a custom-built fleet that could sail convincingly on open water. Unexpected costs like Brad Pitt's injury and a hurricane damaging the Troy set pushed the budget higher. Despite the expense, the film's global box office haul of $497 million proved the gamble paid off. Number 6. Orlando Bloom's archery struggles. Orlando Bloom's Paris is the spark that ignites the Trojan War, but his archery skills didn't come naturally. Bloom, fresh off playing expert archer Legolas in The Lord of the Rings, faced pressure to make Paris's bowmanship believable. However, Paris is written as a less skilled, more impulsive archer, which posed a unique challenge. Bloom trained with Olympic archery coaches to nail the mechanics, but the script required him to look slightly sloppy. His form had to reflect Paris's inexperience without breaking character. During the scene where Paris fatally wounds Achilles, Bloom struggled to hit the mark consistently, leading to dozens of takes. The crew used subtle CGI to guide the arrow's path, ensuring it looked convincing. Bloom later admitted he found it harder to play an imperfect archer than a flawless one, as he had to unlearn his Lord of the Rings muscle memory. His effort added depth to Paris's flawed, love-struck persona. Number 7. The film's historical inaccuracies. Troy takes liberties with history and myth, blending Bronze Age aesthetics with dramatic flair. The real Trojan War, if it happened, likely occurred around 1200 BCE, but the film's armor and weapons mix styles from different eras, including later Greek designs. Historians criticize the absence of chariots, a staple of Bronze Age warfare, in the film's depiction of Troy as a single unified city rather than a potential confederation. The love story between Paris and Helen, while central to the Iliad, is exaggerated for romance, with little evidence Helen was abducted rather than willingly leaving Sparta. Archaeologist Heinrich Schliemann's excavations at Hisarlik, believed to be Troy, inspired the set design, but the film's opulent cityscape leans more on imagination than evidence. Wolfgang Petersen admitted the priority was storytelling over accuracy, aiming to capture the epic spirit rather than. Number 8. Diane Kruger's Helen was a risky casting. Diane Kruger's casting as Helen the Face that launched 1,000 ships was a gamble. A relatively unknown German model-turned-actress, Kruger had minimal film experience when she auditioned. Wolfgang Petersen chose her over bigger names, believing her ethereal beauty and understated intensity suited Helen's enigmatic allure. Kruger faced intense scrutiny, with critics and fans debating whether she embodied the mythical beauty worth of a war. To prepare, she studied ancient Greek art and mythology, modeling her posture and expressions after classical statues. She also worked with a dialect coach to perfect her accent, aiming for a timeless, almost otherworldly tone. On set, Kruger felt the pressure of playing a character defined by her beauty, but she leaned into Helen's emotional complexity, portraying her as both victim and catalyst. Her performance, though divisive, added a haunting layer to the film's romantic core. Number 9. The battle scenes were choreographed chaos. Troy's battle sequences are visceral, but their creation was a logistical nightmare. Stunt coordinator Simon Crane orchestrated clashes involving hundreds of extras, each trained to wield spears, swords, and shields in synchronized chaos. The main battle outside Troy's walls took 3 weeks to film, with 500 extras slung on a dusty plain in Mexico. To capture the scale, the crew used a mix of practical effects and early CGI, blending real fighters with digital armies. Each soldier's armor was unique, with subtle variations to avoid a uniform look. The choreography prioritized realism. Shields clashed with bone-rattling force, and arrows were fired in precise volleys to mimic ancient tactics. Heat exhaustion was a constant issue, with temperatures hitting 100 degrees, and several extras fainted during long takes. Despite the grueling conditions, the result is a raw, immersive spectacle that feels like a window into ancient warfare. Number 10. The soundtrack's last-minute overhaul. James Horner's score for Troy is sweeping, but it almost didn't happen. Initially, composer Gabriel Yared crafted a score blending choral chants and ancient instruments, aiming for a mythic tone. Test audiences found it too somber, and with weeks to go, Wolfgang Petersen replaced Yared with Horner, a decision that stunned the industry. Horner, known for Titanic, had just 6 weeks to compose and record a new score. Working around the clock, he created a lush, emotional soundtrack that amplified the film's drama, using bold brass for battles and tender strings for romantic moments. Yared's unused score later leaked online, sparking fan debates over which version better suited the film. Horner's work, while rushed, earned praise for its intensity, though some critics noted it echoed his earlier compositions. The last-minute switch highlighted the high stakes of Troy's ambition to be a timeless epic. As the dust settles on the cinematic battlefield of Troy 2004, these 10 weird facts reveal a production as epic and tumultuous as the war it portrays. From the towering Trojan Horse, crafted with obsessive realism, to Brad Pitt's ironic Achilles injury, the making of Troy was a saga of ambition, risk, and relentless creativity. Wolfgang Petersen's vision transformed Homer's Iliad into a visceral spectacle, but behind the clashing swords and soaring score lies a tapestry of untold stories, each fact a testament to the human drive to breathe life into legend. Eric Bana's grueling transformation into Hector, Diane Kruger's high-stakes casting as Helen, and the last-minute musical overhaul by James Horner show how every element of the film was forged in passion and pressure. These revelations don't just illuminate the movie's creation, they deepen our appreciation for its audacity, flaws, and triumphs. Troy dared to reimagine a mythic past, stripping away gods to focus on mortal struggles, while building a world so vivid it feels carved from ancient stone. The sprawling sets, the meticulously choreographed battles, and even the historical liberties reflect a commitment to storytelling over dogma, inviting us to wrestle with the line between myth and history. Orlando Bloom's struggle to unlearn his elven archery, the budget's ballooning excess, and the chaotic dance of hundreds of extras in the Mexican heat all underscore the sheer scale of this endeavor. Yet it's the quirks, like a storm hinting at divine wrath, or a composer racing against time, that remind us how art thrives in the unexpected. Troy isn't just a film, it's a monument to the chaos and beauty of creation, where every setback and stroke of genius shaped a story that still resonates. These facts invite us to revisit Troy with fresh eyes, seeing not just Achilles' rage or Hector's honor, but the sweat and ingenuity behind every frame. They remind us that epics are born from human hands, flawed, determined, and daring. Whether it's the physical toll on the cast or the gamble of reworking a score weeks before release, Troy's legacy is one of bold choices and enduring impact. As we leave the gates of this cinematic city, we carry a deeper connection to its world, where myth meets reality in a clash as timeless as the tale itself. So the next time you watch Troy, look beyond the battles and betrayals, see the horse's weathered planks, hear the echo of a discarded score, and feel the weight of a production that, like its heroes, defied the odds to etch its name in history.